is up, everybody? It is Alex from Heavy New York calling from the altar again, and this time we are here with Georgij of the Almighty Russkaja. Thank you so much for being here. It's great to have you here.
Hey Alex, hey people in New York, hello, hello.
It's great to be able to talk with you here. I absolutely love your new album, Turbo Polka Party. Now, the real question I wanted to ask actually is because I feel like every Russkaya album is a Turbo Polka Party, whether it will be No One Is Illegal or Energy or Russian Voodoo. It seems like it always has that polka fun party behind it. So, but why did you decide to call this new album very much what Russkaya is, a Turbo Polka Party?
Yeah, I think we should have been called it already the other albums like this. Now we give the thing a name, yeah, because we also call a genre that we play, it's a Turbo Polka, yeah, and Turbo Polka Party. So now it's more Turbo Polka than usual because the difference between the last and the now album, it's pretty hard. So the new one is way more harder.
Yeah. Was that a
Mhm.
vision that you had beforehand to make an album that was intentionally harder, or did it just kind of turn out that way?
It just turned out that way because we like the hard music. Our guitar player, who wrote the most songs and who produced the album, he is very into the heavy metal in the past. Yes, and me too. I like metal bands. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny too because like I wouldn't consider Ruskaya just a metal band like as I would consider like a lot of bands that bring either folk or polka elements into it. Were you a fan of heavy metal first, or were you more into the ska or more into the polka? Were you like kind of trained in that and then you found heavy metal later on?
I think the interesting thing is the mixture of those six. Yeah, of those things, and this is what we do. We mix polka, offbeat, and then sometimes this jumpy. No, it's not even heavy metal. What we play, you can say maybe nu metal or hardcore and some punk things. Yeah. Um, but what I mean is distorted guitars and on the drums. Yeah. Yeah.
That actually
So
sounded like
this.
a vocal style. You should actually write that as a vocal style.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's also intensively. It was the reason why they booked us on Wacken Open Air. This is the biggest German metal festival, and the first time we played there, we was very surprised why they book us on a metal festival because we are not really metal, but people like this intensity of vocals, intensity of the music, and it was a good something new. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is something I would say very new, and because when you could bring like these polk, we've seen a lot of folk combined with heavy metal, especially like in Europe and whatnot. But to bring this sort of polka element into it, is it fair to say that everybody in Ludoskaya has many different influences as well? Because I could see metalheads appreciate this, I could see ska fans appreciate this, but I think a lot of people who like all types of music can appreciate this as well.
That's good, yeah. We hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so we have members that one of us is playing tuba in a blues band, So other playing, our violin player was playing classic a lot, and our drummer is playing in a band. They make stoner rock, something like this. So we have really so different influences come in one rehearsal room together.
Would you say that makes it easy to sort of try new things? I think with your five albums, you can love all of them because it does have a Ruskaya sound to it. But do you also like to experiment with your style at all, being that you all have so many different inspirations?
Yes, we do it. We do it. We did it. We do all the time the experiments. Yeah. So we do what we like to. So yes.
Mm. It, Is your music often based off kind of like an emotion that you're all feeling at that particular time in a way, or is the music very much not really a reflection of your personal self and more of an escapism?
It's maybe it's both. So of course, when you write something, you think in your head, okay, what's going on? Especially our guitar player wrote the song "No Borders, No Wars." It's because the war is happening now, and we are completely against this war. We are peaceful people. We spread love on the concerts, and this moved him to write song "No Borders, No Wars."
I love the photo shoots of Russkaja. I just love the imagery and the fashion of Russkaja. Do you almost in a way portray sort of like a character outside of who you personally are in a way, or is this just an alter ego of some sort?
It's about 15 years ago when we got our costumes, our first costumes, and I'm still wearing the same trousers. And it was a very great designer who made our clothes. And after the years, so we add something, we change something, and but yeah, it's not really representing some characters that are known outside. So
When
it's us.
when you rehearse or when you're in the studio, do you have to kind of dress in the same way to really make it Ruskaya, or is this just something we'll see on stage?
No, when we rehearse in private, but on stage, it's when you enter the stage, you enter a complete other world, and you go into this world in your character. Even it's our own characters, and this is the costume, and yeah, so we rehearse without the costumes.
Was this always an image that Ruskaya had since the formation of the band? Did you always want to dress like this and express this, or did this come a little bit like later after the release of your first album?
We said that we would like to have on stage, we would like to have some costumes on stage. So we always dress something different than the private dress. And so this is already since 17 years. So we dress something different. Yeah.
Yeah. And when it comes to this live energy, because I feel like Ruskaya definitely feels like a live band, even when I listen to the album. Is there at all a similar energy into playing live as you do with songwriting, or is songwriting and playing live two completely separate art forms?
Yeah, well, it's not completely separate, but when we play for album, when we record or compose for album, it's one composition, and for live in the rehearsal room, we do some special live editions of the songs. Yeah, we make some parts longer or a little bit faster, some things, or yeah, maybe we add something to the song, and yeah, it's a little bit different versions. Yeah,
I
but
also
based on the album songs. Yeah.
I wanted to talk because 2023 marks 10 years of your album Energia. And I just wanted to know, kind of going down memory lane, what the sort of thought process was behind that album and how you moved forward with Peace, Love, and Russian Roll and so on.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was great. We had a very good producer, and we was rehearsing in another rehearsal room where we wrote Energia, and it went like this. So it's developing very good. So every time, how to say, so it's growing a little, if I can say it like this, yeah. So the band is growing, and Energy was a really good push because the song is very good, and it has good views on YouTube, and people like it on Spotify. So yeah, this is one of our King's songs,
Yeah.
so to say.
I felt like Energia when I listened to the entirety of Russkaja, when I listened to, Katashak Superstar to Russian Voodoo to that. I felt like Energia was a turning point for Russkaja in a way, and it kind of represented like a new era for the band, I thought.
Yeah, maybe there was a turning point because with this album we started to work with Napalm Records. It's a metal label from Austria, and we realized that this music is working good on rock festivals, and so we like rock intensity, we like heavy riffs. So yeah, we can say that maybe it's a turning point, and from now on we bring our metal and punk influences we bring in when you like it.
Yeah. Um, and I know when it comes to the style of music as well, were you with Ruskaya, were you involved in the early days? Were you in a metal scene and a punk scene and a rock scene and a ska scene? Was Ruskaya in multiple scenes throughout your career because of your different styles?
Yeah, that was very funny because we was booked on completely different festivals. So we played on a reggae festival, and the people liked it in the same way when we played on a metal festival. We played on hip hop festivals and we played on pop festivals. So we play on really, really different festivals, and this music works everywhere.
Depending if you were on like a reggae festival or a metal festival or something, did you almost have to kind of like adjust your set list to kind of like fit the setting that you were in?
Yes, I can read a little bit. I can really adjust uh, myself, especially when I'm singing. You know, for example, we once played on the jazz festival, and I was holding my microphone like this, la da da, and singing the same. On the rap festival, I was holding it like this, you know,
Are you? That's
and
amazing.
yes, and then on the metal festivals, I hold it like this.
I don't know if you're kidding or not, but that's actually if that isn't the case, that's really funny.
No, I'm really serious. So it's really, yeah. Of course, you can play with the voice sound, yes, and with intensity. But yeah, as we played in Montreux Jazz Festival, you know, there's a very famous festival in Switzerland where it's Deep Purple singing about this in the song "Smoke on the Water." It's and it's a very nice festival. So, but yeah, normally you can adjust a little bit, but you don't have to actually.
Of course, of course. And there was one other question I wanted to ask you because what I love about Ruskaya's music is that it's very fun. It makes me laugh. It makes me smile. It really does have a laid back vibe behind it. But the music is very technically impressive. The songwriting is very difficult. Sounds like it's very difficult to do. The vocal style, it's all very technically impressive. And you also do address some serious subject matters like in No Borders. So with your music, is it a very is there a serious moment in Ruskaya in a way where like in the studio and songwriting you're very focused on the song and very focused on the technical perfection, and is it fair to say that live is where you kind of are able to let loose?
I take the preparations very seriously. So when we make the album, we go really into each detail to make it perfect for the album. On the live, for the live, we rehearse a lot. to make extended versions, but also we have such good instrumentalists, they can really play this stuff very easy. So, and yeah, so we work on it. It's the secret is the good preparation and rehearsing. So it's you can let loose if you're good prepared, then you can enjoy the concert and then you can let loose. Otherwise, it's be a little bit complicated. This music is not that easy to play without preparation and just on the fly. So yeah, so we spend a lot of time with preparations.
Absolutely. You guys have just as many members as Slipknot, so you got to get everybody
Yes.
together. Before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time today and for such a great conversation. I just, with anything else with Russkaja that you would like to promote with the release of Turbo Polka Party, could you maybe bring Russkaja to the U.S. one day? We'd love to have you here.
Yes, we was already very lucky to play our first USA concert. We had possibility to be support band from Floggy Molly, and yeah, we love these guys, and we hope maybe we can come again with the guys to USA. We will see, or maybe even our own concerts. So we would wish to. So it would be very cool to come again to USA.
We'd love to have you here. But thank you so much, everybody. We are here with Russkaja. Be sure to check out Turbo Polka Party coming out via Napalm Records very, very soon. This is Alex from Heavy New York, and we will see you next time.